Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we are going to further our discussion on redox equilibrium, which is into the electrolytic cell. There are 5 subtopics in the electrolytic cells, which is the first one is describe electrolysis. Second one is describing electrolysis of molten compounds. The third one is explain the factors that affect electrolysis of aqueous solution. And next, we will discuss in comparing voltaic cell, the cell that we have learned before, with the electrolytic cells. And the last one is to describe electroplating and purifications of metals. So students, let's go to our first discussion on describing electrolysis. So students, let us make ourselves familiarize with a few scientific terms that is important in this subtopic. The first important terminology is electrolyte. We have to know that electrolyte is actually a substances that can conduct electricity in either the molten state or aqueous solution. Furthermore, this substance will undergo chemical changes. The second term is non-electrolyte. Okay, the non-electrolyte is the substances that cannot conduct electricity in all states. Have you remember the lesson that we have learned in Form 4, which is covalent and ionic compound? So you can relate it with this new scientific terms. Okay, the third one is the conductor. We always say that this is the electrical conductor. This substance is not an electrical conductor. But what is actually a conductor? Conductor is a substances that conduct electricity in solid or molten state but do not undergo chemical changes. The physical state and the chemical properties is still the same even though after the electricity passes through it. And the next one, scientific terms is the process itself, which is electrolysis. Electrolysis is a process where compounds in molten state or an aqueous solution will decompose into its constituent elements. Okay, we will discuss this further by passing electricity through them. That means the compound that has been passing the electricity will change in terms of physical or chemically. Now, let us discuss about these flowcharts together. These flowcharts shows us substances that divided into two, which is electrolytes and non-electrolytes. First, we are going to discuss about electrolyte. The electrolytes are divided into two, which is ionic compound. If the ionic compound is still in solid state, it cannot conduct electricity. Why? Because the ions is attracted by strong electrostatic forces and it cannot move. Okay, when the ions are attracted by strong electrostatic forces, it is arranged in ionic lattice structure. Okay, that cause the ions are not free to move. Therefore, there are no particles that can carry the electrical charge. On the other hand, if the ionic compounds are melt, okay, or in the form of molten, or dissolve in water to produce aqueous solutions, the ions are free to move. Okay, these free moving ions allows the molten and aqueous solution to carry the electrical charge. Hence, molten or aqueous solutions can conduct electricity. Okay, what happens to the alkali? If you remember the example of acid, okay, such as HCl, hydrochloric acid, it consists of non-metal and non-metal elements, which is hydrogen and chlorine. We know that non-metal elements, when reacts with non-metal elements, it will produce covalent compound. We have learned that covalent compound cannot conduct electricity, but there are speciality in acid, which is it can ionize if there are presence of water. When the water presence, acid and alkali will form ions, okay, ions particles. Okay, these ions, okay, will free to move and can carry the electrical charges. Okay, when the ions can carry the electrical charges, acid and alkali can conduct electricity. But in the absence of water, okay, the acid and alkali still exist in the form of molecule. I mean the acid, okay, the alkali is sodium hydroxide, is still an ionic compound, okay, but there are no free moving ion if there are no water. But acid, okay, if there are no water, the acid remains in the form of neutral molecules. There are no presence of ions, so the electrical charges cannot be carried. Okay, so therefore, acid and alkali in the presence of water cannot conduct electricity and cannot exist as electrolyte or play the functions of electrolyte. Okay, while a non-electrolyte, it is a covalent compound, of course, okay, that cannot conduct electricity in any state, okay, because it exists as molecules. There are no free moving ions to carry the charges. Now, let us see what is the difference between electrode and electrolyte. Okay, so the first one, the definition of electrode is substance that conduct electricity. Same with electrolyte, it is also a substance that conduct electricity, but the electrode conduct electricity in solid or molten state, but do not undergo chemical changes. Okay, oppositely, okay, the electrolyte conduct electricity in molten or aqueous state, okay, and undergoes chemical changes. Okay, what does the chemical changes occur? Okay, so we look at this decomposition. Okay, when electrode conduct electricity, it is without undergoing decomposition. It do not decompose. Okay, such as copper wire. Okay, in the electrical wire, connecting wire, there are copper wire inside it. Okay, the copper wire doesn't change the physical state nor the chemical state or chemical properties. Okay, after the electrical current passes through it. If there are decomposition, so we have to change our electrical appliances every time after we use it. Okay, so that is the proof that the electrode, okay, do not undergo decomposition when electricity passes through it. Okay, but for electrolyte, okay, substance when conduct electricity and it will undergo decomposition. Okay. If you can remember the electrolysis of water, okay, at the first place before the experiment, the water is H2O. But after the experiment, we will produce hydrogen and oxygen gas, okay, in different electrode. Okay, so that is the meaning of decomposition. Okay, in Form 5, we will learn more about electrolytes such as acid, okay, solution that can form, that can be the electrolyte. Okay. So the next one is particle that carry the electrical charges. In electrode, okay, there are free moving electrons. Okay, that's why we say the metals, okay, can conduct electricity, because we have learned in Form 4 that the metallic bond, there are free moving electrons. Okay, cloud of electrons, or a sea of electrons in the pure metals. Okay, but electrolyte, okay, the substance or the particles that carry the electrical charges are ions. Okay, free moving ions. Okay, contohnya macam kalau dalam banjir, okay, kita tahu air banjir tu adalah solution. Okay, ada campuran garam galian. Okay, the TNB, okay, tenaga nasional berhad, will shut down the electrical current. Okay, so that kita semua tidak akan kena renjatan elektrik. Okay, sebab dalam air banjir tu terdapat banyak free moving ions. Okay, the next one is electrical conductivity versus the temperature. For electrode, when the electrical conductivity will decrease, okay, as the temperature increases, while electrolyte pula, the electrical conductivity increases as the temperature increase, sebab the free moving ions akan bergerak lagi cepat. Okay, bila bergerak lagi cepat, nanti okay, dia boleh carry the electrical charges lebih pantas lagi. Okay, tetapi elektrod ni tadi tak ada kaitan pun, sebab elektron tu memang sentiasa bergerak, tak kira lah panas ataupun tak panas. Okay, dan bila dia panas, okay, mungkin melt, okay, pergerakan elektron tu akan terganggu sikit. Okay, so example of electrodes are metals, pure metals, and graphite, okay, which is carbon. Okay, while electrolyte semua ionic compound yang can conduct electricity, ataupun semua ionic compound yang boleh dissolve in water, or molten ionic compound, acid and alkali. Okay, now let's move to part 2, which is electrolysis of molten lead to bromide. In this diagram, we can see that there are molten compound, which is lead to bromide, okay, the anode and cathode, and the battery. We will discuss further on the setup of apparatus. This diagram is only to see the animation. What does occur in the electrolysis process if we use the lead bromide compound as electrolyte? Okay, when electric current passes through an electrolyte, okay, the electrolyte is lead to bromide, okay, the ions will move freely. Okay, noted that the lead to bromide has been melted to produce molten lead to bromide. When lead to bromide is melted, okay, there are presence of lead 2 ions and bromide ions. Okay, so lead ions, which is positive ions, cation ions, will move to the cathode, okay, the different charge electrode, while bromide ion will move to the anode. Okay, so bromide ion is the anion. It will move to the anode, which has the positive charges. Okay, so different charge ions will move to the different charge electrode. Now let us see what happens next. Okay, look at the ions in the molten lead to bromide. It move or attracted to the negative and positive electrode. Lead ion attracted to the negative electrode because lead ion has charge, positive charge, while bromide ion has negative charge. Next, okay, it will come further and attracted. Now, at this stage, bromide ion will release its electron here. Okay, one bromide ion release one electron, another bromide ion will release another electron. The electron will flow through the electrode. Okay, remember electrode is the electrical conductor, and move to the connecting wires. Okay, and then the electron will move through the connecting wires. On the same time, okay, we can see that the bromide ion here has become a bromine atom. Two bromine atoms combine to form bromine molecule. Okay, so this molecule, okay, we will have to see this apparatus setup first next. Okay, this apparatus setup is under heating process, okay, because we are using the molten lead to bromide. So because of the heating process, the bromine molecules will produce a bromine gas and release to the surrounding. Okay, now we will see what happens to the electrons. Okay, so now the electrons will move through the battery and arrive at the negative electrode. Okay, at the negative electrode, there will be a process where lead 2 ion here, okay, Pb2 plus ion, receive the electrons. Okay, when they are received of electron, it will produce the reduction reactions will occur. Okay, so we see this reaction more. Now, okay, the lead 2 ion has received the electron and produced the neutral lead atom. Okay, so the lead atom will deposited on the surface of the carbon or a graphite electrode. Okay, so overall reactions that occur are at the anode. Okay, bromide ion release electrons to produce bromine molecule. When there are releasing of electrons occur, so of course the oxidation reaction occur. Noted that the electrode where oxidation reaction occur is known as anode. Okay. Pada masa yang sama, on the same time, okay, the cathode, okay, the lead ions receive the electrons to form lead atom. Okay, when there are receive of electrons, okay, the reduction reaction occur. The electrodes where reduction reaction occur are known as cathode. So, kalau bagi saya, okay, saya akan ingat dikathode, which is T, okay, sama juga dengan simbol tambah, or sama juga dengan proses terima, T juga, elektron. Okay, bila terima elektron, reduction occur. Okay, so cathode terima elektron tambah elektron. Okay, reduction reaction occur. Okay. See the exact apparatus setup for this experiment. Okay, electrolysis of molten lead to bromide. Okay, so the lead to bromide is inserted or added into the crucible until half filled, and then 2 carbon electrodes are immersed into the solid molten lead to bromide. Okay, both of the carbon electrodes are connected to using connecting wire to light bulbs, switch and battery. Okay. So now the light bulbs adalah cara how do we know that the electric currents are conducted. Okay, kalau there are no electricity conducted, so maksudnya the light bulb cannot light up. Okay. Okay, now after that kita akan heat the solid lead to bromide until it is melt. Okay, bila dia melt, kita switch on the switch. Okay, and then kita tengoklah sama ada the bulb lights up ataupun tidak. Okay, during these reactions, okay, bila light bulbs, maksudnya kita akan tahu bahawa there are electrons move through the connecting wires. Okay, so what happens actually bila kita panaskan solid lead to bromide, okay, the ions that are attracted by strong electrostatic forces, kita tahu ni ada dalam ionic compound, okay, are free to move sebab the ions semua dah jadi molten lead to bromide. Dia tidak dipegang oleh strong electrostatic forces tu lagi. Dia dah absorb the heat from the heating process. Okay, dia akan move. Okay, dia akan vibrate, rotate and move. Okay, and overcome the strong forces tadi tu. Therefore, dia boleh bergerak bebas. Okay, selain daripada itu, apabila there are presence of free moving ions, okay, kita tahu the substance or this molten lead to bromide has becomes an electrolyte. Okay, sebab dia boleh conduct electricity. Kenapa? Because the negative ions, which is bromide ions, has moved to the positive electrode. Actually, negative ion move to the positive electrode, while positive ion move to the negative electrode. Okay, we have to betulkan sikit slide ni. Okay, so kita remember negative ion adalah anion. Okay, saya betulkan teruslah kat sini. Okay, negative ion is anion will move to the positive electrode, while the positive ion, which is lead 2 ion, will move to the negative electron. Okay, here bila berlakunya attractions of ions towards the oppositely charged electrode ni, ni disebabkan oleh kita dah switch on the switch. Okay. Okay, apabila ions, okay, has been attracted to the oppositely charged electrode, okay, so bromide ion towards the anodes, lead ions towards the cathode, okay, akan berlaku releasing of electrons, okay, pada bromide ion to produce bromine molecules. So here oxidation occur. Di cathode pula, lead ion will accept electron to form lead atom. So reduction occur. apa observation yang kita akan nampak bila bromine molecule terhasil brown gas release? So, bila ada brown gas release, inference kita adalah bromine molecule is formed. Dekat cathode pula akan nampak shiny grey solid deposited. Kenapa shiny grey? Sebab lead adalah metal atom. Okay. So, inference dia adalah lead atom is formed. Okay. So, kita akan discuss further lagi tentang electrolysis of molten bromide apabila kita balik ke maktab nanti, insyaAllah. Sambil kita akan cuba buat dia punya eksperimen. So, see you in MRSMTGB. Bye.